Hi, this is Wednesday once again, and this is me falling apart, breaking into pieces, and going crazy because I'm so stressed right now. The thing is, I have this really important exam thing that has to be in tomorrow, and I thought I was like doing fine and like being on time, and then I realized that this last thing I'm going to do is a lot harder than I thought it was. So I'm kind of dying right now. And then there's a rock show on Saturday, which is kind of freaking me out too. So everything is like, I'm just panicking right now. But I think I'm going to do it. Do what? I think I'm going to like solve this, and well, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get out of this alive, hopefully. And yeah, then there's Matilda's challenge about favorite books besides Harry Potter, and Elin has actually really mentioned a lot of my favorite books, but I'm going to talk about them anyway. I'm such a rebel. So this is Agnes Cecilia. It's written by Maria Gripe. It's a Swedish book. She's a Swedish author, and it's probably for young adults or teenagers. And it's really great. It has beautiful language and really interesting story where the past and the present are kind of woven together in a really interesting way. Read it. And then it's Looking for Alaska, the Swedish edition, Vad är Alaska, by John Green, nerdfighter, blog brother, and awesome person. And yeah, it's really nice. It has, again, really nice language. It's funny, it's interesting, and it's a great book. Read it, alright? And then it's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, one of my favorite writers. It's a funny, romantic, and really nice book. The BBC version of the book is really nice too. The adaptation with Keira Knightley really sucks, so don't watch that. Third book, Tillsammans med mig ensam by Anna Chevalda. Assemblée c'est tout on French, the original title. And Elin has already told you that it's about people in Paris who find out that you're less alone together. And it's my favorite book ever. It has like the most beautiful language I ever read, and the story is just fantastic, and the characters are so awesome. And my favorite movie is Amélie of Montmartre, and this book makes me feel the same as I do when I watch that movie. So yeah, I love it. You have to read it if you haven't. And then there's Mio min Mio, written by Astrid Lindgren, famous Swedish children's books author. She's written Pippi Longstocking, which you probably heard of or read or like seen. It's a really beautiful book about a boy who finds out who he really is and does amazing and brave stuff. Kind of like Harry Potter, but Harry Potter's better. But yeah, it's a really beautiful book. Read it or read it to your kids. Or read it yourself because it's awesome. And then there's The Picture of Dorian Gray, written by Oscar Wilde. And I really like the story in this one, and the language as well. It has really great ironic language. It's funny, but in the same time it's really tragic, and it deals with like the vanity of people, and I don't know, it's just a book that really got to me in some sense. And it's really gay actually too. You can tell that Oscar Wilde was into men, because every like description of men is like, oh, he's so beautiful and hot and graceful and elegant and beautiful and handsome and good looking, and oh my god. And when there's a woman the women who are described in the book are like, yeah, well, she was there and she looked okay. Well, nothing more with that. She was okay. But this man, you see what I mean? Oscar Wilde was so gay. And the last book is called Sophie's World. Sophie's World on English, I think. Yeah. And Sophie's Världen on its original title, because it's a Norwegian book written by Jostein Gaarder. And it's about the philosophy and the history of philosophy. It's a really great book if you want to learn stuff about philosophy. Well, if you want to learn like the basics. But you can read it anyway because it's so interesting and exciting, and you can't stop reading. It's about Sophie who gets these letters mysterious letters from like no one, with questions like, who are you, where does the well come from, what is the meaning of life, and what happens when you die. And she and her philosophy teacher, Alberto Knox, is dragged into this really exciting adventure, and they have to like wonder how they really do exist and if their life are real. Is real. Are real? Anyway, it's a great book. You should really read it. So yeah, I can also mention the Percy Jackson series, which I talked about earlier. I really like those books as well. So yeah, that's probably my favorite series besides Harry Potter. But these were my favorite books besides Harry Potter. Yeah, so I don't have time for much more because I will continue being stressed out and freaking out and crying and I don't know, eating a lot of chocolate and kind of dying because I have so much to do. But I'll see you next week. Hopefully I'll have survived until that. Until then, God, my grammar is really awful. We can blame it on the stress, really. And I'll see Denise tomorrow, and I actually see Linnea on Saturday for real, and I miss you, Linnea, so I'm looking forward to that. Have a nice week. I won't have a nice day because I will be buried in stupid literature. I hate literature.